Why do hanging baskets stop blooming, and how to fix them? We're not just gonna.
That's a good one.
We get it a lot. It's that
everybody wants this.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the ones that are just showy and gorgeous, and then they come in, they're like, it's not doing anything.
I just don't have a green thumb. Frowny face. So we get a lot of pouty people, and they're like, why don't mine look like yours? Are you doing what we're doing? So we're gonna address that, and we're not just gonna give you the why, but let's do how to fix it so your hanging baskets can look amazing. So that's our goal. That's why we do these videos. We want you to have amazing hanging baskets, because if you're happy, you're going into those greenhouses and you're happy to spend the money and continue that.
Yeah, if we can teach you how to have a greener thumb, which I hate to say that because
you're not born with it.
We all have the same thumb.
Yeah.
But if we can teach you certain things, it's going to help our entire industry. It's not even going to make. It's not just going to make your block look really gorgeous, but it helps the entire industry. So,
yeah, absolutely.
So let's get into it.
Sure.
Let's just go over the main things. Like, what do we normally see happen?
I mean, the most common is going to be not feeding. So is this just dumbfounded look that we get, and they're like, my hanging basket just doesn't look like yours. Okay, then we start going through this process of, okay, what are you not doing? Okay, do you fertilize at least once a week? I don't fertilize at all. Bingo! We found that if you're not feeding nutrients to the plant, especially in it's in a hanging basket or it's in a pot, it's in a container and it can't get the nutrients, well, how do you expect it to flower?
And you can buy the fertilizer,
yeah.
But if you keep it under the sink
yes.
and don't use it.
Yeah. And people will be like, how long is Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer good for? And it was, typically like 18 months is that shelf life.
You should probably use it up by then.
Yeah. I bought it like 4 years ago. What? You're not using it then. I mean,
do you have a single 6-inch container?
Yeah. So, okay, here's a public service announcement. If you're not feeding plant food, fertilizer, nutrients to the flowers, they're not going to flower. They're just absolutely not going to. So
they're going to be very piddly.
Yeah. So that's kind of obvious, but obviously not.
Okay, so they're fertilizing, and they say, "Yep, I'm fertilizing. I'm doing it as directed." Like you said, they're still not flowering.
Okay. Then we go into flip and care. So, flip and care meaning like, yeah, I just water it whenever I feel like it. Or, so let's go into it. So let's take watering a little bit. I know we could do this for hours, but are you overwatering? And we find that 90% of our customers that we talk to, 90% of them are overwatering them. They're like, yeah, I water this.
The ones that say that they're taking care of it.
Yeah, they're like...
Because then there's others that are really honest. They're like, I forget to water it all the time.
No one's ever honest. Let me just tell you that. I'm doing everything you told me, Scott. Well, obviously not. So let's talk about overwatering, because we find that 90% of our customers fit into that category of they're overwatering. And what do we mean by overwatering? They take a hanging basket and they water it until it runs out. Don't do that. I don't care if you live in Texas, it's 100 degrees out. It'll be 130 plus degrees in this back greenhouse. It'll be 130 degrees in these back greenhouses. Guess what I'm not doing, because it's wrong. I'm not watering this till it comes out the bottom, because that is wrong. That will get you. Now,
but so many people have heard that that's what you're supposed to do.
I know, and that's false information. That's wrong.
Can we just take 3 minutes, not even, to say why that's wrong? Because you can say that's wrong, but if you don't tell them why it's wrong, they're just gonna be like, well, how come he thinks he's right?
I'll let you do it, because I can't take 3 minutes.
Hang on to my coffee.
I can't take 3 minutes. I'll take 3 hours to explain this. So, because watering is a hot topic to me.
Let's pretend this is your plant, okay? This is your hanging basket. This is actually a dahlia, but you're watering in it. It's coming out the bottom, and you're like, I'm watering it all the time, and it's just pouring out the bottom. What's happening is this bottom portion stays really wet and stays really moist, and it starts rotting the roots.
Yeah.
Roots. It starts rotting the roots down here,
If you're not from northern Wisconsin.
and it's getting soppy wet like toes in a washing machine.
Mm-hmm.
And so it starts stopping. It's stopping to drink. It's not drinking anymore because
Shut off.
those roots are mushy and kind of soggy.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes this look dry because those roots aren't absorbing the water. And so you're like, oh my gosh, my plant is dry. I'm gonna pour more on,
Yeah.
dousing it again. And it keeps increasing and increasing until the plant just says, you know what, forget it. I'm just gonna die.
Yeah.
And you'll see that it won't be blooming, it won't be growing. It'll look like you're watering it all the time.
Yeah.
And you're like, why is this plant still dry? And you're just dousing it. It's coming out the bottom.
Cut the life source off.
Yeah,
with
it
those-
was down here was the
those roots.
problem.
Yeah.
So if you water it and you give it a good drink, and you know, if it comes out the bottom a few dribbles, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about
habit.
when
Every
you're
single
all
day.
the time just having it pour out the bottom. And then you have not drier roots, but it has time to absorb that water and do its job and grow, and it's not sitting mushy and nasty.
But-
Nobody wants mushy and nasty roots.
But another thing on that same line, when you're overwatering, you just washed out all the nutrients. So now you do that every day, and you can say, I fertilize. Yeah, but you washed all the nutrients right on out. So you gained nothing by fertilizing because you overwatered, and all those nutrients are now on the grass, or your grass will probably look great right there.
And
So
once you
it
stop
doesn't do any
thinking
good.
about why doesn't this look good, and you start thinking about what is happening in that basket underneath that,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
what are the roots doing? Because that's your life source. That's where it all comes from.
Mhm. Now let's go to the flip side of that. So 90% of our people overwater, and we get them when we correct them. Their hanging baskets look like this because
Big
they tell
difference.
us. They tell us. So over and over again, those success stories, like I used to do this, now I do this. My hanging baskets look beautiful. Thank you. So we hear that thousands of times. So it works. Do that. Let's go the other way. So overwatering, underwatering. You think it'd be obvious, but it's not. So, and this comes back to the flip and care of they just water it whenever they want, which might be once a week, and it
A lot
needs
of people
daily
that
care.
come up for a cabin,
Oh, yeah,
they
it's-
want their cabin to look like this, but they're like,
Yeah.
well, I only come up every like week or
2 weeks, yeah, and I shouldn't, but I'm a daily care guy. Like this, that's how I'm hardwired, and I'm like, that's not gonna work. Well, I'm still gonna put them out. I'm like, okay. And
But
I
don't
just-
expect them to do this.
Yeah, and I just had that conversation with somebody yesterday, and they're in containers like this, and they won't be back for, she said, twice a month. I'm like, don't even bother. So, yeah, so the underwatering, so it never gets a drink of water, but once a week or whenever you feel like it or remember it, don't do that, because now it can't get what it needs. So 24-hour care. I'm taking this hanging basket, I'm giving it what it needs for 24 hours. I'm not worried about the entire week. I'm worried about taking it from today to tomorrow.
Right.
Okay, moving on. Putting these hanging baskets in the wrong spot. Too much shade. These are super petunias. They need sun.
Full sun.
Yeah, so you put this under an oak tree. It's just not flowering.
Or
Yeah,
you
of
put
course
it
it's
under
not.
an awning.
Yeah.
Maybe you have
exactly.
full sun coming at it from one angle, and you're like, the front's beautiful, but the back has nothing.
Yeah, of course.
Well, because the back doesn't have any light. Now, what can they do with that if they have that situation? Because a lot of people do. You can maybe turn them if you want.
Yeah,
Or
and
you can
there's-
just accept that the back isn't going to have flowers.
And there is the super petunias can handle actually a lot of shade, and that's by trial. We have our great big hanging baskets on the north side and the east side. Not ideal, but it comes back to care. They're getting the absolute best care, and they look like it.
But
So-
the back side of them,
Yeah, yep.
because there's no light,
Or-
has no blooms.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So when people look underneath them, they'll
Yeah,
see
it
the
looks-
backside has
looks
no
like
blooms.
it gets no sun. So that's kind of the opposite of the,
And that's also
of
where a
the
plant gets,
watering.
where it starts to stretch out, and you'll see like very spacey, airy.
Yeah.
It's searching for light.
Yeah.
So try to move it, or you need to choose a different type of basket.
Yeah, and that goes back to, and we've done a few videos on this, on the trimming petunia baskets. Petunias should be full and absolutely, just gorgeous foliage. And when people are like, yeah, I gotta trim my petunia hanging basket 5 times. Stop, time out. You're doing something wrong, because that's a symptom. The symptom is, it's being leggy because it's not getting the right sunlight, it's not being watered correctly, it's not getting the right care. The care is flipping. So leggy hanging baskets, leggy petunias, that's a symptom. Fix the problem. So
and that's the big theme of it, is you need to figure out what you're not doing correctly. Is it watering? Is it light? Is it, they're just the
Go down
average
that
care
list
of it.
and be honest with yourself.
You need to audit yourself, which
Yes.
we have tons of videos
Yes.
on audit. We have a whole series on auditing yourself and being honest with yourself.
Yes, you have to go stand in front of the mirror and say, the reason my hanging baskets don't look like Sharkies is because the person in the mirror is taking care of them. And there's something that's off, and that's usually in that care.
Right.
So that's kind of the most obvious reasons, and it's probably something in there. If your hanging baskets don't look like they should, go through and audit yourself and be honest and say, okay, am I doing this? Well, it's been 3 days and I haven't watered the hanging baskets. Well, of course they look like they do, because they don't like being stressed out. So, going down that list.
Pour it out the bottom. Or
Don't do that.
I have it in too much shade, and I know it's too much shade, but that's where I really like it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So you need to switch that. But full sun. If you're doing petunias, you're full sun. If you're doing geraniums, you're full sun.
Super petunias.
If you're doing
heavy
shade,
feeders.
then you need to find plants that are suitable for your shade. You're not going to have the super petunias if you have all shade.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is.
The way it is. Yeah. Get a chainsaw, cut some trees down. Yeah. So, but anyway, so that's a few of the most obvious care issues. There's a lot of other factors, but that's in that
1%.
Yeah, there's certainly bugs can do things. There's like it rained for 2 weeks straight, and so there are plenty of other issues. But if we can hit 95% of those people and get them to have hanging baskets that look like this, we're gonna have a lot of happy people. But it takes some honesty and what you're doing and correcting it. We can give you all the information that you want for free, but if you don't implement, we're just entertaining you. Yay.
We'll do
but
that.
yeah, sure, hit the subscribe button. We'll entertain you all day long. But if you don't implement the techniques and those tips and tricks, you're not going to have hanging baskets that look like this. So
Right.
all right, so talking about our Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer, which we talked about feeding, we have a brand new BYN Retailer.
And it's close by.
Yeah.
It's in Green Bay.
Yeah, another one
So
from Green Bay.
the plant people in Green Bay, they are not a greenhouse, but they do indoor plants, and they do specialty, like all those really unique, high-end, and all across the board, all
Yeah.
of them. But they do
Tropicals.
Yes,
Yeah, so
all
some
the
neat stuff.
indoor house plants. So you'll have to check them out if you're looking, if that's your category. Yes, you can use the Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer on indoor house plants. You kick it back to once a month rather than once a week, but they'll green those up and make them look absolutely beautiful. So the plant people in Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay, Wisconsin. All right. So, and if you're looking for a retailer of Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer near you, we have a map. It's a retailer map. So if you go to beatyourneighbor.com, our website, and then scroll down, there's great big colored buttons on there, and they're all the categories. There you have blog articles if you want to shop for the Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer, but also there is a retailer locator. So click on that button, it gives you a map of the United States, and you can scroll in like, hey, I'm in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I should see if there's anybody in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Yes, there is. Scroll in and you can see who those retailers are. So that's at our beatyourneighbor.com website. And
If you don't have anybody near you, we will ship to 48 states, but we really highly recommend that you go visit some of these retailers, say hi, tell them we said hello for us, and buy a jar from them.
yeah, so all right.
On that,
It's off
It's
to
gonna be
watering.
a warm day.
Yeah, it's gonna be 90 degrees in northern Wisconsin, so
It was just snowing 2 weeks ago.
Yep. Hey, Wisconsin weather. So, all right. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.